If you are just joining us now, we were seeing live pictures from the Oval Office. Some absolutely astounding visuals there where you saw a very different kind of rhetoric from US President Trump, where he was castigating Ukraine's President Zelenskyy. It was such a heated exchange, something that many of us have never seen.
You're gambling with World War III.
You said thank you once this entire meeting?
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long.
Let's get the latest now from our US correspondent, John Brain, who joins us live from Washington, D.C. John, astounding press conference. I mean, well, I should say in front of the press pack there. That's not exactly the kind of rhetoric that you normally expect from a US president. And my question before that went live, was I was going to ask you if a deal looked like it was going to be done, if it was any closer. I mean, what did you make of that performance by Donald Trump and his vice president in front of the cameras just now?
Well, you summed it up perfectly, saying astonishing, it's astounding, and I'd choose another word as well. It's a disaster for Volodymyr Zelenskyy.
Well, let's bring in Nigel Nelson. He's the former political editor at the Sunday Mirror. So, Nigel, first things first, have you ever seen anything like this before? So combative, so toxic. I mean, this really was a fight on camera.
Yes, it certainly was. And no, I'd never seen anything like that.
You talk about things that are unprecedented. We also saw Trump parroting lines as if it was, from the Kremlin, from the mouth of President Putin, saying that Putin went through a phony witch hunt by the West, by the former President Biden. I mean, for you as well, do you think that this now emboldens Russia more in this war, in any peace negotiations? Well, President Zelenskyy has also shared a post on his social media on X saying, thank you, America. Thank you for your support. Thank you for this visit. Thank you, Donald Trump, Congress and the American people. Ukraine needs just and lasting peace, and we're working exactly for that. Welcome to our continuing rolling news coverage here on TRT World, joining you live now from London, where we know the leaders of the US, Turkey, Qatar and Egypt have signed that peace agreement at the Gaza Peace Summit. So much, of course, to digest on this historic day where they've called it Peace in the Middle East. And to recount what has happened, our top story today, US President Donald Trump has declaring an end to the war in Gaza, a historic new dawn in the region. He also said the second phase of negotiations towards a lasting peace has begun. John, we saw Donald Trump taking the floor, as we've seen him do so much. He is a man who likes to talk, but here at this peace summit, it seemed that everyone there believed that he deserved this moment.
I think that's right, and not just at that summit. I think around the world at the moment there has been this sense that only Donald Trump could have pulled this off.
We don't know so much yet about the details of this 20-point plan. There's lots still to hash out. But when Trump spoke at the Knesset, there was this understanding, at least by him and of his administration, that the Palestinian voice has to be heard in all of this, that they need to have some sort of future. How was that received? Let me pick up on what you were talking about there, about all of this being unprecedented, that the politics of power, at least for the Middle East, seem to be shifting. The sands seem to be shifting. One thing that was quite stark, you didn't really see a role or a voice or a prominent role in Sharm el-Sheikh, especially today, of Europe or of the UK. And in fact, you were mentioning there the Pakistani Prime Minister and the role that countries like Pakistan, South Asian countries or the Middle East, these countries that Donald Trump is now looking to can play. The Pakistani Prime Minister was even given the floor by Donald Trump. Well, aid trucks are finally entering Gaza, bringing food, medicine and shelter into the Strip after months of a suffocating blockade. As I was saying to the previous guest, Hamza, a lot of today's political action is taking place far away, at least, from the Gaza Strip. But when world leaders like Donald Trump call it a momentous day, a momentous moment, is that sentiment at least in some way shared by the Palestinians living in Gaza, that perhaps something will now fundamentally change, that they perhaps have a future?
Hope has kept them alive throughout this war, and they hope also that the life
their lives will improve and they will have some closure after all of this.
Well, that's the news from now and the news from London. Thank you for being with us tonight. Roundtable is up next.